16, 2017 to order, please. We have a quorum. Item 3 is the invocation and the pledge of allegiance to the flag. If you would, and you're able, please rise. I'd like to call on Councilman and Reverend Billy J. King with Faith Bible Fellowship Church for our invocation.
Let's bow here, please. Father God, we thank you so much for the city that we live in. We thank you, Father, for our city councilman and Lord for our administration. Lord, I pray that we continue to move forward in a positive way in our city to enhance our community, help our citizens along. We just want to thank you for this time. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. We'd like to call on Councilman William Jackson, Mayor Pro Tem, for our pledge of allegiance to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. Item 4, recognitions and presentations. Item 4A, we have a few introductions tonight. 4A is the introduction of a new hire from our police chief, Steve Lynn. Chief.
So tonight I wanted to introduce our newest recruit. This is Miss Brenda Bird. She, I think, showed up here with her father was Air Force career and has lived in House County most of her life. She's got a bachelor's degree from Georgia College in criminal justice, and we saw her from the Secretary of State's office where she was a paralegal. In her spare time, she flies and rides motorcycles and shoots in competition. So expect her to do well in farms when she goes to the academy. We're happy to have her. She's very enthusiastic. She started Tuesday last week. And, so, Brenda, introduce yourself to the Mayor and Council.
It's very nice to meet you. Welcome to the city of Perry.
Raleigh Hunt. Nice to see you. William
Welcome.
Jackson.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
I'm Randall Walker.
It's a pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
I told her she was not going to get 10 minutes speech. But I think she figured out I was.
But I had it prepared and everything, it takes a while.
It didn't write order at all, so I retracted it. This is our newest recruit.
Officer Bird, we want to welcome you to the city of Perry, to the best police force anywhere. And you are going to find that the men and women you'll be working with will have your back, and you will have theirs. And it is one of the best places, if not the best, to begin your career. I'm assuming this is your first foray into policing. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. I like the fact that I'm assuming you're a pilot since you fly.
Yes, sir.
Do you fly helicopters?
Private
Well, you can move up. But that doesn't mean you can requisition a helicopter. We're not going there. Small planes. Okay. Well, that's great. I'm glad that you've chosen the city of Perry. I think you have chosen well, and the more time you spend here, you're already familiar with it. I think the more that you will like it, and we are looking enthusiastically forward to your career for a long, long time. Thank you again for choosing the city of Perry, and we welcome you to the city of Perry family. Congratulations. Thank you. Next, 4B, is the introduction of a new hire from Fire and Emergency Services, Chief Parker.
Yes, sir. Miss Angie, come on up. Wanted to take the opportunity tonight to introduce you to Miss Angie Holly. She is our new executive assistant, our newest employee in the fire department. And she originally from Oklahoma, came here to Houston County with her husband, who is retired Air Force. And they settled in this community, and we're happy to have her as our newest employee. And her husband's name is Rick, and her twin boys are Colton and Rhett. Mrs. Mayor and Council.
Welcome. We're going to introduce ourselves to you, just like we did for the police officer, and then we'll go from there. Welcome to Perry. Nice to meet you.
Raleigh Hunt, welcome. William Jackson. I am Randall Walker.
We have, you're not done yet. The 10-minute speech. Again, we're very thankful that you have chosen the city of Perry. Our fire department is second to none. As you might have guessed from our previous comments, we think that we do have the best firefighters, both men and women, anywhere. You will also learn that they have your back and you will have theirs. And I apologize right off the bat because you're gonna have to be working for him a lot, but that's okay. He will do a good job and he will learn to do everything you tell him to do. From that standpoint, as will the other firefighters from that standpoint. That is a very strong department. You will find that it runs very efficiently and you will do nothing but enhance and improve on that. And I thank you for making the conscious decision to work for the city of Perry. We're looking forward to your long, long career here, and for tolerating all the men primarily that you will have to in the fire department, but they're all good guys from that standpoint.
I'm
Thank
glad to
you.
be here. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. That's the microphone. If it gets too bad, I'll cut it off. Gets too bad. Item 4C is a proclamation that recognizes the Public Works Week. Ms. Nottingham. You want me to do it? Okay. That's what I thought. Thank you. Ms. Nottingham, tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Sarah Nottingham, and my former position was the Executive Secretary of Public Works, and my newest position is now Stormwater Operations Supervisor. And I'm here to represent Public Works in the absence of a director, and representing all the guys in Public Works in Public Works Week is coming up from May 21st through 27th.
Thank you, ma'am. In the city of Perry, a proclamation recognizing National Public Works Week, May 21 through 27, 2017. Whereas public works services provided in our community are an integral part of our citizens' everyday lives. And whereas the support of an understanding and informed citizenry is vital to the efficient operation of public works systems and programs, such as water, sewers, streets and highways, public buildings, and solid waste collection. And whereas the health, safety, and comfort of this community greatly depends on these facilities and services. And whereas the quality and effectiveness of these facilities, as well as their planning, design, and construction, are vitally dependent upon the efforts and skill of public works officials. And whereas the efficiency of the qualified and dedicated personnel who staff public works departments is materially influenced by the people's attitude and understanding of the importance of the work they perform. Now therefore, let it be known that I, James E. Faircloth, Jr., Mayor for the city of Perry, Georgia, do hereby declare the week of May 21, 2017 through May 27, 2017 as National Public Works Week in the city of Perry. And I call upon all citizens and civic organizations to acquaint themselves with the issues involved in providing works and to recognize the contributions which public works officials make every day to our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. So proclaimed this 16th day of May in the year of our Lord, 2017, signed, James E. Faircloth, Jr., Mayor, City of Perry, Georgia. Congratulations, thank you for the job that you do, and for all of the men and women who make our Public Works Department what it is, the best anywhere around. Congratulations, and thank you for your efforts. Item 5 are citizens with input. We have one citizen who has called and wishes to address council at this time. 5A is from Mr. Claude Morris. Is Mr. Morris present? Yes, sir. Mr. Morris, if you would stand and You can give us your name and address and the comments that you'd like to make, please.
Yes, I'm Paul Morris, and I live at 1616 Main Street, Perry. And we have a water problem in my driveway. We tried to fix it there a couple of times, and they didn't do nothing but make a mess. They got the ditch, and I think you got a copy of this.
Yes, sir. We do have a copy of the pictures that you have.
Well, if you see on the first page where the water runs down Keith Drive, comes off of Ross Street, all the way down Ross Street, down to Keith Drive, and down to Main Street. All that water runs down that street, runs into my driveway. And you can see there where it runs off. And then where they dug it out, how it's washed out. You know, and we just, there's so much water's been coming down there, it's washed out the edge of the road, edge of Keith Drive, where the water runs off in my, before it gets to my driveway, and it runs down and runs in my driveway. And they got curbing coming down Ross, and it's nothing but dirt on the side of the road to Keith Drive. So, I talked to the general manager one time about it, and he said it's all my problem. Now, I kind of disagree a little bit there. Well, it's all on city property, not on my private, on my lot, on city property. And back when the house was built, he said it was too low. I'd have to put a cover in it and raise it up. Well, when the house was built, the city of Perry okayed the driveway. It was fine. Over a period of years, if you'll notice on that front page there, where the road has been repaved about 3 times there. So that raised it up about 4 inches. So my driveway's down low. And I hate to be a nuisance, a problem, and a complainer, but I own several pieces of property in Perry, and this ditch they just dug over there, it don't look too good. I can't mow. When the water comes down that drive, down Keith Drive, and off of Ross into Keith Drive, runs on down and comes to Main Street down there, and it runs over the Main Street cover. Backside. Runs over the Main Street cover. And, let's see. I don't know what to do, or, you know, it's all on city property. And, the only thing I know to do is the maintenance man over there, the maintenance barn told me, they ought to put a cover all the way down, a pipe all the way down from Ross to Main Street to take care of the problem, because that's where the water's coming off, Ross and down Keith. They all slope in and run down. Or either bring that curb down on around, side just like like it is on Ross, one or the other. And but I don't think it's my problem. It's all on city property. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. I'll make certain that we address this in a detailed manner, and someone from the city will be getting back in touch with you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. Would anyone else like to address council at this time? Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. You heard me from me previously. My name is Dr. Edward Ravansky, and I live at 602 Stockport Court. I attended the pre-council meeting this evening, And I've heard a number of issues raised about two ordinances that are about to come before council for a vote this evening. Those ordinances concern property at the corner of Danny Carpenter and Sandifer Road. Given that there have been substantive changes to the applications for zoning and annexation over the course of the last several weeks, and given the concerns raised by members of the public and by council, I would respectfully request that council remand this matter back to the Planning and Zoning Commission for the purposes of review. In addition, I would like to extend my personal invitation to the developer and applicant to meet with me and other concerned citizens so that we might find a more mutually agreeable plan forward that would avoid the prosecution of this in public fora. So I would like to extend that so that we might avoid such intense public opposition as there have been. Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you, sir. Would anyone else like to address council at this time? Yes, sir. Please state your name and address, please.
I'm Jeff Machesky, 206 Morton Terrace. I am the developer of the property. Mayor and council, I presented you with some facts yesterday, and I think it'd be important that I repeat some of these, maybe put to bed some of these fears of this development. One of the opposition's fears was Mossy Creek Middle School would need a rezoning. Spoke with Mark Scott from the Madison County Board of Education, and I believe he sent a letter to Mayor Fairclough. And Mark Scott said that the school has been stagnant for 5 years in enrollment, I believe it's 680 students. It was under capacity. And that if they do not increase the enrollment, they would have to rezone students from other middle schools over to Mossy Creek. Well, that's exactly what nobody wants in the entire county. Also, if we don't get the enrollment up, the school board cannot apply for state funding for future middle schools, which they did not do in this most recent spot. Another concern I heard was that it was unsafe for the children to walk from Tyler Ridge and Magnolia Hill down Danny Carpenter and Sandifer Road to the school. Well, it's a fact that if you put residential neighborhoods in that, streets in that field, that the residential streets would be safer for the kids to walk than it was down that 3 and 4 lane road. One of the things that we talked about, or the opposition had, was values. And I brought up yesterday, I like to give my history of me. I've been building in Houghton County since 2001. I've built over 700 homes. Unless there's an appraiser in here, I doubt there's anybody that understands real estate values better than I do. During the recession, my company grew and it didn't falter. This was from good planning and quality built homes. I provided council with recent sales from Tyler Ridge versus other subdivisions on city property, Magnolia, or the Ridings versus other property. Similar homes, the exact same high school, similar elementary and middle schools. Matter of fact, you could argue that Mossy Creek is more desirable than Fagan Mill Middle School in some people's opinion because it's newer. However, the sales in the last year show that homes on smaller city lots consistently sell for more per square foot than same homes on larger county lots. They were concerned that the smaller lots, which is a 2,000 square foot reduction on the R2, would devalue their homes. So I like to ask them to think about Royal Oaks. Those lots are 1 acre to 4 acres. There's no devaluation of Royal Oaks homes because of the Ridings homes being there, nor of Magnolia Hills homes because of Tyler Ridge and Riding. And that's at least a 300% reduction in size. What I'm asking for is a 14% reduction in size. I also give my word to council that at least 30% of these lots would be of the 14,000 square foot minimum that the opposition has asked for. The plan is for 3 neighborhoods. Some of those would be homes equivalent to what's in Magnolia Hill. The biggest reason, guys, that lots in the city appraise from, homes in the city appraise for more is because as a builder and developer, as you put those streets in, you have to run sewer services to them. And that costs a lot more than just a county lot that gets a septic tank. So as a developer, you have to pass that cost on to the builder, and guess who he passes that on to? The consumer. So thus the prices are higher, and I've got sales after sales. Talked to an appraiser, one more thing about the different subdivisions. He said it's clear, the boundaries between different subdivisions are clearly defined. Thus, appraisers know the difference between subdivisions. We're not building, I don't build, nor the builders I'm talking to about building with me in that subdivision. None of us build junk homes. Matter of fact, most of y'all that live in the Riding from Tyler Ridge, it's your same builders that want to buy lots from there. Now, my lots are gonna probably run $15,000 to $20,000 more than the lots they bought, because the lots they bought from banks during foreclosure. So they're able to sell their homes cheaper. This subdivision that I will be putting in will bring value to your area, I assure you of that. The last thing would be the county commissioner's objection. I shared with mayor and council yesterday. The nerve of me. Was that on March 2nd of 2017, the county approved development plans, and I had them with me yesterday. I shared it with them. Where they approved development plans for property that was R2 next to R1 in the county just a couple months ago. County R2 was a reduction of 5,000 square foot. The city R2 is only a reduction of 2,000 square foot. And all those R2 homes they just approved, 100 or so of them, are going to exit straight through those R1 developments over there where they just approved this. I won't have to have any entrances that would, my homes would not have to exit through your neighborhood unless if engineering allowed. Don't think that'll get by, because there's good planning reasons for that. We'll have a couple entrances that exit out onto the main road. So as far as, my point is, as far as the county objection, we cannot see any reason that their objection is credible based that they're doing the same, they just did the same exact thing. That's all I have. And I'm available for anybody who would like to talk to me. My office is on Highway 96 behind CD&T. I don't hide from anybody, so just give us a call. I'll be glad to sit down and talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jesse. Would anyone else like to address council at this time? Yes.
Mayor, City Council, man, my name is Dwayne White, 258 Hatteras Drive. I'm just stressing council to, once again, just show my opposition to the development, mainly because of the way things started out. I don't know where it was a miscommunication in the first proposal or whatnot, but we got to remember when we started this process, even with your Mr. Wood over here, we first heard about that it was going to be C2. It started out as a convenience store. It went from there to a daycare facility. It went from there to multi-family homes. So as you can see, all those different titles and different agendas that the builder was proposing at first threw a lot of us for a loop. And I don't, like I said, I don't know if it was because of miscommunication or whatnot, but if anything does get approved, we, as members of the community, would like some assurance that it will be what it says it is on paper, more than just paper, but solid. Because, like I said, we've been thrown for a loop on several other occasions from what the original aspect, what it was. 3 different things, and now all of a sudden it's single-family houses. And I'm not trying to say that the developer threw us off for a loop on purpose or whatnot. It might have been something so small, it's just miscommunication. But because of that miscommunication, our concerns have been raised, and we just would like some assurance that it will be what it said would be. And that's all we ask for today. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Would anyone else like to address council at this time? Thank you. Item 6, review of minutes. Item 6A, council for your consideration. You have been provided the minutes of the May 1, 2017 work session, the May 2, 2017 pre-council meeting, and the May 2, 2017 council meeting. At this time, I will entertain a motion that we approve these minutes as presented. There's a motion and a second. Is there any additions, deletions, changes, or discussion concerning these minutes at this time?
Not in the May 2nd.
Please let the record indicate that Councilman Jackson was not at the May 2nd meeting. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor raise your hand. All those opposed, raise your hand. Any abstentions? Let the record indicate that Mr. Jackson abstains due to his absence for that one meeting. Motion passes. Thank you. Item 7 is old business. Item 7A are ordinances for a second reading and adoption. Item 7A1, this is the second reading of the ordinance to rezone property consisting of 107.11 acres from Houston County R-1 to City of Perry R-2 with conditions. Number 1, residential uses shall be limited to single-family detached dwellings only. And number 2, not less than 30% of the total number of residential lots on the property shall be at least 14,000 square feet in area and at least 90 feet in width. The property is located at the corner of Sandifer Road and Danny Carpenter Drive. Mr. Wood.
Mayor and council, this request is, as you just read, a modification from what was considered at the public hearing. It's also a modification from what was originally submitted and heard by the planning commission. I think that the applicant has made these modifications and based on what he's heard from public comments. The planning commission recommended denial of the application that was based on the original application that had requested commercial zoning. The staff recommends approval of this request. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. Does any member of council have any questions of Mr. Wood at this time? Thank you, sir. Council, this is a second reading, and as is with our custom and according to the process of law with our, the way we handle ordinance changes, it is time for action. At this time, I will entertain a motion concerning this particular item as described.
Mayor, due to the number of changes to this application from the time it was originally heard by planning and zoning, I move that it be remanded back to planning and zoning so that it can be heard in its current form.
Is that a form of a motion?
That is the form of the motion.
That's the whole motion?
Yes.
Okay. That's a second. Okay. There's a motion and a second on the floor. Point of clarification, Mr. Holbert, does that qualify as remanded under the terms of remanding something back to planning and zoning with instructions?
Yes.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item 7A2, council, this is the second reading of an ordinance to annex property consisting of 107.11 acres from Houston County R-1 to City of Perry R-2 with conditions. 1, residential uses shall be limited to single-family detached dwellings only. And 2, not less than 30% of the total number of residential lots on the property shall be at least 14,000 square feet in area and at least 90 feet in width. The property is located at the corner of Sandifer Road and Danny Carpenter Drive. Mr. Wood, I'm not going to ask you to address this because it's an operation of law. The way our ordinances read, before the city of Perry may annex anything into the city, it has to be zoned a certain way first. That's why there's a this two-part deal. There's a zoning issue that we address first, and the second issue has to do with annexation itself. Therefore, that's why it's proposed in this manner. Because of the action taken in item 7A1, I will entertain a motion from council regarding item 7A2. 2.
I just make a motion that don't take
It's the same motion. It needs to be the same. It needs to be the same motion as the last one. It needs to be remanded back to planning and zoning for review with conditions.
given the action.
I'm not trying to put words in
No,
my mouth.
that's fine.
I
understand that. Given the action we've taken on the previous reading, I would recommend that we remand this to planning and zoning as well for consideration.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. For clarification, Mr. Holbert, did this qualify under the definitions that are required for review by remaining back to planning and zoning? Yes. Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Council item 7A3 is the second reading of an ordinance to rezone property from City of Perry R-3 multifamily residential district to City of Perry Planned Unit Development, or PUD. The property location is Champions Way at Houston Lake Road. Mr. Wood.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this request is rezoning to a PUD. The request is essentially to reduce the side setback on the individual lots from 8 feet to 5 feet, consistent throughout the subdivision. There are no surrounding residential properties, and the impact will be just for the lots in the subdivision itself. The Planning Commission recommended approval. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. Does any member of council have any questions of Mr. Wood concerning this item at this time? Thank you, sir. Council, you've heard the recommendation from planning and zoning and staff's recommendation. At this time, I will entertain a motion concerning item 7.3 as described.
Make a motion we accept the staff's recommendation and approve this ordinance.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item 8 is any other old business. Item 8A is any other old business from the mayor. I have none. Item 8B or any other old business from council members. Ms. Bynum?
I have none.
Thank you. Mr. Jones?
No, sir.
Mr. Walker?
No, sir.
Mr. Hunt?
No,
Mr. Jackson?
No, sir.
Mr. King? Thank you. Item 8C is any other old business from the city manager who is absent. I will take that as a no. Item 8D is any other old business from the city attorney, Mr. Holbert.
No, sir.
Thank you. Item 9 is new business. 9A are matters that have been referred from the May 15th, 2017 work session that we held last night. And tonight, this evening is May 16th, 2017 pre-council meeting we had at 5 o'clock. We have one item that needs to come before us. Excuse me. Council, excuse me, I'm not aware of any matters referred from last night's work session that we need to address, nor am I aware of any matters that we discussed during our May 16th, 2017 pre-council meeting. Does any member of council have any items that we need to address coming from either one of those meetings at this time? Thank you. Item 9B is the award of bids. 9B1 is bid number 2017-17 for a 1-ton mini dump truck. Ms. King.
Yes, sir, Mayor and Council. The information that you have before you in your board pack is a recommendation from the Public Works Department for a one-ton mini dump truck, which was a budgeted item in the 2017 budget. The recommendation is to award to the low bidder of Allen Vigil Ford in the amount of $41,224. And this will be paid for by lease proceeds.
Thank you, Ms. King. Does any member of council have any questions, Ms. King, concerning this item at this time? Thank you, Ms. King.
Thank you.
Council, you have heard the recommendation from administration and staff concerning this particular purchase. At this time, I will entertain a motion that we accept and award the bid amount of $41,224 to Allen Vigil Ford, the low bidder, as described. There's a motion. Is there a second? Motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item 10 is other business in the supplemental agenda. Item 10A, council, we are being asked for approval of a right-of-way mowing and maintenance agreement between the city of Perry and the Georgia Department of Transportation. Mr. McMurray.
Mayor, Council, some good news to share. Our gateway landscaping improvement projects for exit 136 has been approved by the DOT to move forward. Along with that, moving forward requires a contract maintenance agreement for the quadrants there at the exit 136 range. That will include mowing and maintenance of those quadrants. The contract has been submitted to the city, and I forward to the city attorney for approval. Provided the city attorney approves this contract, the city staff recommends approval from the council.
Thank you, Mr. McMurray. Does any member of council have any questions of Mr. McMurray or any other member of staff concerning this item at this time? Thank you, sir. Council, you've heard the recommendation from staff concerning this right-of-way mowing and maintenance agreement. We have been working on this information for years, trying to beautify, starting with exit 136 of the 4 exits we have on I-75. I love the Department of Transportation, but sometimes they can be a little slow from that standpoint. The hang-up primarily has been we did not want to spend city monies for any type of improvements without having a way to keep those improvements, primarily landscaping, water. So we finally have reached an agreement with the Department of Transportation where we will expend the funds necessary to put the landscaping in and irrigation systems in to water it, and also in doing so keeping the public safe from that standpoint. We have gotten to that point in this agreement, and it is a truly a good thing for the city of Perry. I may not live long enough to see the next 3 exits done, but at least this is a step in the right direction. I will. Me too. Council, at this time, you have heard the information from staff. I will entertain a motion that we approve this right-of-way mowing and maintenance agreement between the city of Perry and the Georgia Department of Transportation as described.
Second.
Motion and a second. Point of clarification, this is subject to the city council's, city attorney's review. You have reviewed it, is that correct, Mr. Holder?
Yes.
And it meets the requirements necessary for us to move forward?
Yes.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item 11 are council member items. Ms. Bynum Grace? Mr. Jones? Mr. Walker? Mr. Hunt? Mr. Jackson? Mr. King? Thank you. Mr. Hobart? Thank you. Item 12 are department head items. We'll start with the Department of Economic Development. Mr. Smith.
Mr. Mayor? Mayor and Council, I do have a number of items to share with y'all tonight. Firstly, the Fuller Center for Housing here in the city of Perry. They will be having a home repair project, and they've requested volunteers. The event is Saturday, May 20th, so this upcoming Saturday at 8 o'clock in the morning at 122 Old Farm Road in Perry. And they need particularly people that are good with painting and siding work. So if you know of anybody, this is a great volunteer opportunity with one of our partners. I'm going to have some flyers if you want like any of those. Keeping in the vein of housing, the Perry Housing Fair has been rescheduled. We had a lot of interest in this, and when it was canceled, we got a lot of phone calls. What's going on with the housing fair? So we have rescheduled it. We are controlling for weather this time. We'll be holding the event at Faith Bible Fellowship Church on Thursday, June 29th, from 3 to 6 p.m. We'll have a whole host of resources and exhibitors there from the national level, the state level, local level, some of our local banks, that type of thing. So if you're looking to move to the city of Perry, if you're looking to make improvements in your home or purchase a home, this will be an excellent event, and it's free. Everyone is welcome. Also, flyers from this if you're interested. And finally, I think Chief Lynn was going to touch on this, but I'd be completely remiss if I didn't mention it. On Friday, June 2nd, the Perry Main Street Advisory Board is partnering with the Perry Downtown Merchants Association for the Progressive Wine Tasting. This is one of the biggest events they do every year. It's very nice. They close the street down, Carroll Street down in downtown Perry. A lot of the vendors are participating, a lot of merchants participating. You have wine, shopping, that type of thing. Should be a great event, as it always is. So again, that's Friday, June 2nd, from 6 to 9 in downtown Perry. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. From the Department of Leisure Services, Mr. Dye.
I have not had anything tonight, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. From the Department of Community Development, Mr. Wood.
Nothing tonight, sir.
Thank you. From the Police Department, Chief Lynn.
Yes, sir, Mayor and Council. I've got 3 items. First, I want to remind everybody that the high school graduation will occur before the next general meeting, and that's on Friday and Saturday, May the 26th and 27th. In particular, Friday at 5 p.m., Perry High School, followed by Houston County at 8 p.m., same day. Saturday starting at 9 o'clock, Northside High, at noon, Warner Robins High, and at 3 p.m., Veterans. And the buildings are open 1 hour prior to each graduation for people to get in and take their classes. Generally very crowded. Recommend y'all get in early if you happen to be going over there on any of those 5 occasions.
And that's at the Ag Center?
That's at the Ag Center, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Only place in the county.
It'll hold.
So that's coming up, and we'll be staffing that, of course, along with the other law enforcement agencies in the county. We held this past Saturday, even despite the rain, a Stuff the Cruiser event, which is our charity food drive that we do twice a year now. And at Walmart and in the Walmart parking lot. We had some educational components to it this year, child safety seats, child identification, those kind of things. Had an opportunity, if you wanted to try to dunk or top. But it's Mr. Hunt, you didn't come out this year and do that, did you?
Oh, so you all took care of me last year.
Okay. And it was quite successful. We filled 8 cruisers full of food, non-perishable items that, in addition to receiving cash donations from the citizens in the amount of $720. And all of that's passed on to Loaves and Fishes to support the work they do in the community. So this has turned into a good event for us, and we plan to continue doing it twice a year. My officers are enthusiastic about doing it, and I think it's just a good community event. And the final thing, it's National Police Week, for anybody that doesn't know that. And yesterday we had the candlelight vigil for the fallen officers, and it was at Southside Baptist in Warner Robins. It was very well attended, probably the biggest crowd we've ever had. We also had a record number, unfortunately, of Middle Georgia officers that were killed in the line of duty last year. There was a big turnout. It's a great service. We've got events the rest of the week. Today's Wear Blue to support your local police. So those of you who have on blue, thank you. But you might not know, this is Violent Grace, obviously, because you've got all kinds of so tomorrow's Thank You Cop Day. And just in any way you want to. Preferably something nice. And on Friday is a Pray for Your Police event that'll be outside of our department at 8 o'clock that night. And then on Saturday, just to perpetuate a stereotype, we're having coffee and donuts with a police officer at Rowden Park, in downtown Perry, from 8 to 10 Saturday morning.
Where is that, Chief, again?
At the corner of Ball Street and Carroll, at Rowden Park. From 8 to 10, so if you want to have coffee and donuts with us, just show up and we'll supply the coffee and the donuts.
Good. I'll be there.
So, you're all welcome. And that's it.
Friday night?
We have a traffic enforcement network thing, but that's not part of police week. We talk about that,
What are we
don't
doing, we're having a dinner?
we? Yes, sir, for the Middle Georgia Traffic Enforcement Network, at 6 o'clock Friday, we are having dinner and a training session, and then there'll be some, traffic checkpoints that follow after that in the city, probably till about midnight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
From the Department of Finance and Administration, Ms. King. Thank you. From the Department of Fire and Emergency Services, Chief Parker.
Yes, sir. Mayor and Council, just to give you a quick update, last week on Wednesday, the fire department did send 2 firefighters down to the South Georgia, the city of St. George, for the West Mims fire. And then they were relieved on Friday with 2 other firefighters, and they all came back on Sunday. So they spent 4 days down there working. Everybody is home safe along with our equipment. However, that fire has grown to 152,000 acres now. And we anticipate GMA probably making a request for more firefighters to come back down there. So if we do still have volunteers that want to go, we'll probably send some other folks down there as we do get the request in. That's all I have.
Thank you, Chief. From the Department of Public Works, Michelle, you have
Nothing, not, Mayor.
Thank you. Ms. Palmer, from our media specialist, do you have anything for us?
Nothing tonight.
People still hitting our Facebook page? Is that
They-
the right terminology?
Hitting, that's a good one. You can use that one. That works.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm sure I may, just as a side note, I spoke to a group of young adults at Veterans High not too long ago, and in my comments, I made reference to a Rolodex that they would need. And I stopped myself because I saw this confused look on all their faces. I said, y'all ain't any idea what I'm talking about, do you? Now I go, no. I said, well, let me rephrase it. How about contacts in your phone? And they all said, yeah, we know what that is. I'm old, I admit it. It's very difficult for me to keep up with technology, and that's why I rely on my son. And since he went off to college, I have been sorely lacking from that standpoint. But at any rate, thank you, Ms. Palmer. You're doing a great job keeping the city of Perry up to date with all the right terminology, even if I mispronounce it. Thank you very much. Did I miss anybody from this? Item 13 are general public items. Is there any member of the general public who wishes to address council on any matter at this time? Yes, ma'am. Please state your name and address.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Toya Harris. I'm with Perry Housing Authority. My address is 104 Turtle Court, 1 Robbins, Georgia, 31088. I don't really have anything. I just wanted to thank the Public Works Department for the transition for Perry Housing Authority from the dumpsters to the toters. The transition was smooth. We had our first pickup today and everything went well. And I just want to thank Mr. Enos and Ms. Susan. They were great, helped me with everything I needed, answer all the questions that I had. And the process was very smooth. And I just want to thank the Public Works Department for everything they've done for me. I also just want to let everyone know we, Perry Housing Authority is developed a partnership with BB&T to work with some of the residents with home ownership and with doing classes because a lot of residents think that they can't own a home. And some of the residents who are working don't realize that the money that they pay in rent, they can also buy a house. So BB&T is going to partner with us to help and talk to some of the residents and do classes, and if they're not ready credit-wise, they're going to work with them during the process. So So they'll be having their first meeting with BB&T on tomorrow. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harris. Would anyone else like to address council at this time? Thank you. Item 14 of mayor items. A couple of dates I'd like to bring to your attention. Other than what's already been mentioned, I understand that this coming Friday the 19th at 5:30 will be the opening ceremony for the Relay for Life event that will happen at the Georgia National Fairgrounds in Agriston. On Tuesday, the 23rd, it's the fourth Tuesday, we will have the next installment of Walk with Mayor and Council. And this evening's walk will begin at 5:30. It will take place at Gatwick Senior Village at 901 Perimeter Road. We'll be meeting at the leasing office site. If you're not familiar with it, we've been doing this for a number of years now. Once a month, we rotate into three electoral districts in the city of Perry. I'll walk with Mayor and Council on the fourth Tuesday of most months, weather permitting. And this month, we were going to be at the Gatwick Village. It's an opportunity not only for the citizens who live in that particular area to speak with myself and council, but anyone else who wishes to come out and participate. Initially, it was envisioned to be a way for me to get some much needed exercise. I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but it has turned into one of the best communication tools that we have had. And in addition to that, it gives us an opportunity to see the city like no one else can. I mentioned before, it's one thing to drive even very slowly through a subdivision or down a road. It's quite a different thing to walk it. I promise you, you'll see things you didn't notice. Of course, you shouldn't notice them, so you'd be a distracted driver, right, Chief? So at any rate, it's an opportunity to come be with us, to see that particular part of town, and I would encourage you to participate if you would like. We have a Memorial Day weekend coming up. Please be safe. And I know we don't want me to do it, but in case you're interested, on May the 27th is Representative Shaw Blackman's birthday. If you see him, please wish him a happy birthday, but don't tell him where you heard it. Our next regularly scheduled meeting will be a work session. We have work sessions twice a month, just like we do regular council meetings, the first and third Mondays and the first and third Tuesdays of each month. So the next work session will be on Monday, June the 5th at 5 o'clock in this room. The next regularly scheduled pre-council and council meeting will be Tuesday, June the 6th. The pre-council meeting at 5 o'clock upstairs in the conference room. The council meeting at 6 o'clock in this room. All of our meetings are open to the public. I would encourage your participation should you see fit. I believe that is all I have. Now, if you have anything else that needs to come before us? Hearing none, thank you for your interest and participation. We stand adjourned.